Poisoning your mind. We have more sick minds than sick bodies. In today's 7 minutes of inspiration, we want to take a deep analysis on the many ways in which you poison your mind, in which you poison your thinking process, in which you can tell that you're mentally poisoned. And how do you poison your mind? You poison your mind in the way you think. Let's look at that today.
She's a lady, she's a cancer.
We looked at why you don't receive whatever you're wishing, whatever you're intending, and whatever you're wanting. And in case you missed our last week's minutes of inspiration, we gave you the reason as to why many of us make goals, have aspirations, have visions, but we rarely achieve them. And among the reasons why we gave you, why we introduced that concept to you is matters of expectations from your conclusions drawn from your past life. So your past life, your past events of life can affect the conclusions you have about life. And your conclusions actually affect what you expect out of life itself. So as you're intending, we said, you have different expectations, which creates a conflicting interest. And that's the reason why many people do not achieve what they want, because their intentions and their expectations are conflicting, which results into not getting what exactly they want. So if you missed our last week's minutes of inspiration, please go to the description section below. We shall find the link to the previous video we put up last week. Watch and don't forget to subscribe. In case you're our new subscriber, you're very welcome. And share in case you find it very useful to you. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you find it very useful content to you. So in today's 7 minutes, let's look at poison thoughts. Poison. There is poison food. There is poison in your food, but there is also poison in your thoughts on a daily basis. So many of us in life, we daily take doses of poison in our minds. Willingly, unwillingly, intentionally, not intentionally, but it's happening on a daily basis. So these daily thoughts of poison culminates into dropouts of life, all these negative notions we shall talk about, and these things that affect your well-being as you go through your journey called life. So mental poisoning may not actually kill you physically, but it creates dropouts, life dropouts, family dropouts, marriage dropouts, love dropouts, school dropouts, vision dropouts, events dropouts. As in, every day people are dropping out of something. So many people who wake up without motivation, without inspiration, without, a reason why, that sense of emptiness is because they were mentally poisoned by certain thoughts. And that's the reason for today's session. So if you are thinking of dropping out of a relationship, of a marriage, of a life, of a vision, of a dream, of anything you started and then you want to drop off, the reason why you're dropping off is there is a mental poison. So let's tackle the mental poison in the brain today. You see, in life, every one of us is chasing something. Each one of us is up to something. Every time you wake up and you're not up to something, even that alone, I told you, inactivity is an activity. Something is going to happen. So when you see many of the dropouts, people who say, I'm tired of school, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of work, I'm tired of waking up to go to chase dreams, the reason is mental poisoning. You see, to find inspiration, to find energy, to act, you need mental. Physical energy is very important, but mental is very, very important. So when you look at the news, where you see suicidal thoughts, suicidal events, where people have dropped off buildings, they've killed themselves, there's violence, all those are signs of mental poisoning. It starts as mental to become the physical equivalent of whatever people are thinking through. Okay? So let's look at the manifestation of mental poisoning to know that you're mentally poisoned. Something is mentally poisoned, or something is is mentally poisoning you. Okay? So when you see these events in your life, when you see these events in society, if you see these events in your community, at the workplace, there is mental poisoning. Okay? So domestic violence is a mental poison. By the time someone becomes violent physically, they've thought through, they've thought about it, and they've grown to hate somebody to violence. They is suicidal. Someone who commits suicide has mental poisoning. Social media hate. Those who go on social media to abuse celebrities, that hate is mental poison. Resentment. Someone can resent you for a long time until when they think of murder. By the time it becomes murder, it began as resentment. That is a mental poison. Emptiness. Escapism. Where someone feels empty, they don't know where they're going, and then next, life loses a meaning. That is mental poisoning. Withdrawal from society. Someone can withdraw. That's a dropout already. When you drop out of church, drop out of mosque, drop out of life, drop out of vision, I've already told you. That's a sign of mental poisoning. And lastly, fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of old age, fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of all those kinds of fears are a sign of a mental poison. So, in today's 7 minutes of inspiration, what you must know is this. Every time you are thinking about something which is not empowering, it is leading to poison. Okay? And when this poison grows little by little, every day it goes, it becomes negative to these events which we've talked about. So when you see someone who is depressed, full of anxiety, thinking of suicide, violent, hateful, that is a sign you have a mental poison. So learn from today and onwards to always check your mind. Madness, sickness does not manifest in what you see in the physical. It starts as a story. This is how it starts. Then by the time someone thinks of suicide, by the time someone thinks of murder, dropping off from any event of life, it starts in mental poisoning. So today's 7 minutes of expression, we need to remind you always to check your mind, nourish it very well with useful information to avoid all these kind of poisons that eat you up. Once again, I'm Mariam Nakuja, the Ladies Guide. See you again next week, and bye-bye.
She's a lady.